Myanmar Economic Outlook 2025 Challenges, Opportunities, and Future Pathways. Myanmar stands at a critical crossroad in 2025. Once seen as a promising frontier economy in Southeast Asia, the country has faced years of political instability, armed conflicts, and economic disruptions. Despite these challenges, Myanmar's economy continues to attract interest because of its rich natural resources, strategic location between India, China, and Southeast Asia, and its large young population. The Myanmar Economic Outlook 2025 is shaped by three main forces. 1. Political uncertainty and the impact of conflict. 2. Global market trends, including energy price and regional trade shifts. 3. The resilience of local businesses and the informal economy. The current economic situation in Myanmar. GDP and growth projections. Myanmar's GDP growth has slowed significantly since the 2021 coup. International financial institutions estimate that the economy shrank by almost 18% in 2021 and only showed slight recovery in the years that followed. By 2025, growth remained fragile, hovering between 2 to 3% annually, according to regional economic reports. The country's economy is under pressure from declining foreign investment, limited access to international banking, rising costs of import due to currency depreciation, disrupt trade flows because of internal conflicts. Still, certain sectors such as agriculture, natural gas exports, and cross-border trade with China and Thailand provide lifelines that prevent total collapse. Key economic drivers in 2025. 1. Agriculture, the backbone of the economy. Agriculture remains Myanmar's largest sector, employing over 60% of the population. Rice, beans, pulse, sesame, and maize continue to dominate exports. In 2025, global demand for food remains strong, giving Myanmar some opportunities to earn foreign exchange. However, farmers face challenges such as lack of access to quality seeds and fertilizers, high fuel price affecting irrigation and transportation, export restrictions, and border blockage. If Myanmar can improve rural infrastructure and support smallholder farmers, agriculture could stabilize the economy in the short term. Natural resources and energy. Myanmar is rich in natural gas, oil, jade, timber, and rare earth minerals. In 2025, natural gas exports to China and Thailand continue to be the main source of government revenue. Rare earth minerals, in particular, attract global attention because of their use in electric vehicles and renewable energy technology. China dominates the global rare earth supply chain, and Myanmar has become its third largest supplier. However, unregulated mining causes severe environmental damage and benefit only a small group of businesses connected to the military. The challenge for 2025 is finding a way to manage these resources responsibly while ensuring that revenues benefit the wider population. 3. Manufacturing and trade. Myanmar once positioned itself as a low-cost manufacturing hub for textile and garments. Many factories were set up to export clothes to Europe and United States. However, since 2021, international sanctions and political risks have driven away investors. By 2025, some factories continue operating, but mainly for regional markets such as China and ASEAN neighbors. Informal trade through border area has grown, especially in Mandalay, Muse, Myawaddy, and Tachi Lake, where cross-border commerce provides jobs despite instability. 4. Telecommunications and digital economy. One's pricing area of growth is a digital economy. Mobile phone usage remains high, and many young people rely on social media, e-commerce, and digital payment apps. Startups in Yangon and Mandalay continue to operate, though they face internet shutdown and regulation hurdles. In 2025, the demand for online services such as food delivery, freelance work, and digital learning remains strong. This shows Myanmar's long-term potential in the tech sector. Stability improved. Major economic challenges. Political instability. The biggest obstacle to Myanmar's economic recovery in 2025 is political instability. Fighting between the military and ethnic armed organizations continue in Kachin, Shan, Chin, Karen, and Rakhine states. This conflict disrupts transport routes, limits investment, and reduces trust in government institutions. Inflation and currency depreciation. The Myanmar kyat has lost much of its value since 2021. In 2025, inflation remains high, with food and fuel prices rising faster than wages. Ordinary citizens struggle to afford basic goods, leading to declining living standards. International sanctions. Western sanctions against military-linked companies continue, limiting Myanmar's access to global banking system and foreign investment. As a result, the country relies more heavily on China, Russia, neighboring ASEAN states for trade and financing. Infrastructure gaps. Poor roads, weak electricity supply, and limited capacity make trade difficult. This infrastructure problem raises the cost of doing business and reduce competitiveness compared to neighboring countries like Vietnam or Thailand. Opportunities for Myanmar in 2025. Despite these challenges, Myanmar still has opportunities if reform and peace progress can achieve. Regional trade integration. Myanmar is part of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership (PCEP), the world's largest free trade agreement. If political stability improves, Myanmar could benefit from tariff reductions and access to Asian markets. Tourism potential. Myanmar has world-class attractions like Bagan, Inle Lake, and Napoli Beach. And better governance, tourism could bring billions in foreign exchange. Agriculture upgrading. Shifting from raw crop export to processed food like rice, noodle, packages, bean, and edible oils could increase export value and create jobs. Green energy development. With vast river and sunlight, Myanmar has untapped hydropower and solar potential. If developed sustainably, green energy could meet domestic need and generate export. Digital workforce. Myanmar's young population is tech-savvy. With training and better internet infrastructure, the country could build a competitive digital services industry. Myanmar economic relations in 2025. China. China remains Myanmar's largest trading partner and investor. From pipeline to rare earth mining, Beijing plays a major role in shaping Myanmar's economy. In 2025, China continued to use Myanmar as a vital link in its Belt and Road Initiative, especially the China-Myanmar Economic Corridor. ASEAN. Myanmar's relationship with ASEAN is complicated. While ASEAN push for peace talk, it also keeps Myanmar within regional trade framework. Cross-border trade with Thailand is particularly important as it provides essential goods and fuel. The West. Western nations maintain sanctions limiting official economic cooperation. However, humanitarian assistance and limited business engagement still exist, mainly through NGOs and non-military linked enterprise. Informal economy. One key feature of Myanmar's economy in 2025 is the informal sector. Millions of people rely on small-scale businesses, cross-border trade, and remittance from abroad. This underground economy keeps families alive but makes it difficult to measure the country's true GDP. Informal trade includes fuel smuggling from Thailand, cross-border rice and maize exports to China, informal jade and rare earth mining. While these activities provide short-term income, they also reduce government tax revenues and fuel corruption. Social impact of the economic crisis. The economic downturn has serious social consequences. Rising poverty. The World Bank estimates that nearly half of Myanmar population now lives below the poverty line. Unemployment. Factory closures and disrupted agriculture have left millions jobless. Migration. Many young workers seek jobs in Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore, sending remittance home. Health and education declined. With low government spending, public services have weakened, leaving families vulnerable. Myanmar economic outlook scenarios. Best case scenario: if political dialogue progress, violence decrease, and reform begin, Myanmar could see GDP growth rise 4 to 5% annually. Investment in infrastructure, agriculture, and digital services could revive the economy, supported by ASEAN and development partners. Middle scenario: if the current situation continues, limited peace, ongoing sanctions, and slow reform, the economy will remain stagnant at 2 to 3% growth, heavily dependent on China and informal trade. Worst case scenario: if conflict escalated and sanctions tighten further, Myanmar's economy could shrink again, with hyperinflation and mass migration worsening the humanitarian crisis. Myanmar economic outlook for 2025 is a story of both risk and resilience. The country faced enormous challenges: political instability, inflation, weak infrastructure, and sanctions, but it also holds long-term potential in agriculture, energy, tourism, and digital services. For meaningful process, Myanmar needs political stability and peace agreement, inclusive economic policies that support farmers, workers, and small businesses, responsible management of natural resources, stronger ties with regional and global markets. While the road ahead is uncertain, the resilience of Myanmar's people continues to be the nation's greatest asset. If reforms eventually arrive, Myanmar could still re-emerge as one of Asia's most promising economies.